Remember when $50 at the grocery store meant a full cart? You'd walk out with bags in both hands, feeling like you actually got something for your money. Today, that same $50 gets you this. Half the cart, half the food, and somehow, you're supposed to feel like nothing's changed. If you've been lying awake at night wondering why your paycheck seems to evaporate faster each month, even when the numbers on your paystub stay the same, I want you to know something important. You're not crazy. You're not bad with money. And you're definitely not alone. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why your money doesn't go as far anymore. We're going to pull back the curtain on forces that have been quietly stealing your purchasing power, and more importantly, I'm going to give you 3 practical strategies to protect your wealth starting today. This isn't theory, this is your financial reality, and it's time to understand it. Hey everyone, Alpha here. Over the past 5 years, I've sat across kitchen tables from hundreds of families who all share the same bewildered expression. They're earning the same income they did a few years ago, sometimes even a little more after promotions or raises, but somehow they're struggling more than ever. They're cutting back on things they never thought they'd have to cut. They're dipping into savings they worked years to build, and worst of all, they blame themselves. Today, that ends. We're pulling back the curtain on the hidden economic forces that have been systematically eating away at your purchasing power. This isn't about shame or blame, it's about understanding the game so you can start winning. Stick around until the end because I'm going to share 3 specific, actionable strategies that you can implement this week to start protecting your wealth. Let's dive in. Let's start with the obvious culprit everyone talks about, inflation. But here's what most people don't understand, and it's crucial. When the government reports that inflation is running at 3%, they're not technically lying to you, but they're absolutely not telling you the whole story. Either, that 3% number is a carefully calculated average across thousands of products and services, everything from television sets that got cheaper to eggs that doubled in price. Your personal inflation rate, the inflation that actually affects your daily life, the things you actually buy like groceries, rent, gas, healthcare, childcare, is probably much, much higher than what you hear on the news. Let me give you some real numbers. In 2022 alone, food prices jumped over 11%. Housing costs, up nearly 8%. Healthcare costs continued their relentless climb at over 5%. Energy prices, 13%. Meanwhile, the average wage increase that same year was just 4.5%. Do that math with me. If your costs go up 11% and your income goes up 4.5%, you're falling behind by 6.5% in a single year. And this isn't a one-time thing. This has been happening year after year, slowly eroding your purchasing power like waves wearing down a cliff. The result? You're running faster and faster on that financial treadmill, working harder than ever. And staying in exactly the same place, except you're not staying in the same place, you're actually moving backward. Now, let's talk about the hidden tax that nobody voted for, that most people don't even know exists: monetary expansion, also known as money printing. Since 2020, the Federal Reserve created over $6 trillion new dollars out of thin air. Let me say that again, because it's so staggering. $6 trillion new dollars. That's more money created in just 2 years than in the previous century combined. Here's the simple economic truth they don't teach you in school, but it's so important to understand. When you create more money but you don't create more actual goods and services, when more dollars are chasing the same amount of stuff, prices inevitably go up. This isn't rocket science. It's not controversial economics. It's supply and demand applied to currency itself. Every single new dollar that gets printed makes every single dollar already in existence worth slightly less. It's like adding water to soup. The more water you add, the less flavor each spoonful has. Since the Federal Reserve was created in 1913, the US dollar has lost over 96% of its purchasing power. Read that again. What $1 bought your great-grandfather in 1913 now requires $25 to buy. And here's the scary part. The rate of money creation is accelerating. What took 100 years? But wait, there's another piece to this puzzle that doesn't get enough attention. While you're struggling to make ends meet, while you're deciding between groceries and gas, Many of the largest corporations in America are recording their highest profits in history. How is that possible during an economic crisis? Welcome to what economists are now calling greedflation, or what I call shrinkflation's evil twin. Here's what happened. Corporations realized they could raise prices significantly and simply blame it on inflation. They could tell you costs were going up, even when their actual cost increases were much smaller than their price increases. And while you were distracted by the pain of higher prices, they were padding their profit margins to record levels. Have you noticed your cereal box got smaller, but the price stayed the same? Your chip bag has more air and fewer chips. Your ice cream container quietly shrank from a half-gallon to 1.5 quarts. That's shrinkflation. And it's corporate America charging you the same for less. Meanwhile, corporate profits hit record highs in 2021, 2022, 2023. And they're on track for another record in 2024. This isn't a coincidence, and it isn't just inflation. It's a systematic transfer of wealth from working people to corporate shareholders, happening right under our noses while we're told to just tighten our belts. Okay, enough doom and gloom. You came here for solutions, and here they are. 3 practical strategies you can start implementing today to protect your wealth from the forces we've been talking about. Strategy number 1. Inflation-proof your income. This means negotiating your salary aggressively, at least annually. If you're not getting raises of 6 to 8%, you're actually losing ground to inflation. Don't accept the first offer. Come prepared with market data, your accomplishments, and the value you've created. And don't rely solely on your day job. Consider developing side hustles or skills that pay in scalable ways, things where you can earn more without trading more hours. Strategy number 2. Own real assets. Cash sitting in a savings account is losing value every single day to inflation. But stocks, real estate, and commodities tend to rise with inflation over time. You don't need to be rich to start, even small. Consistent investments in broad index funds will beat holding cash over the long term. Strategy number 3. Reduce your fixed costs ruthlessly. Refinance debt while interest rates are stable. Negotiate every recurring bill, your insurance, your phone, your internet. The less money you absolutely need each month, the more freedom you have to weather economic storms and seize opportunities. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The game is rigged in many ways. The system has built-in advantages for the wealthy and corporations that regular working people don't have. But that doesn't mean you can't win. It doesn't mean you're powerless. Understanding why your money doesn't go as far as the absolute first step to making it go further. Knowledge is your security system against the silent thieves of inflation, monetary expansion, and corporate greed. Remember what we covered today. Your personal inflation is likely much higher than the official numbers. Money printing is a hidden tax on your savings, and corporations are using inflation as cover to boost profits at your expense. But you have strategies to fight back. If this video opened your eyes to what's really happening with your money, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I've got 3 more videos in this series that will completely transform how you think about money. Building on everything we just covered, drop a comment below and tell me, what's the one expense that's hit your wallet the hardest lately? I read every single comment, and your insights help me create better content for this community. Until next time, stay smart, stay informed, and most importantly, protect your purchasing power. You've got this. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Check out these videos next to continue your financial education journey. See you in the next one.